YouTube, welcome to the Dry Down. This is the place where we aspire to elevate and enhance our olfactive experiences through the facets and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. So if that's the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, grab a glass, and let's elevate. Ladies and gentlemen, today what I'll be doing is doing what I would like to call a from the house video. And so I'll be talking about the House of Lubin, Paris, which was established in 1798 and have 44 fragrances in their collective. I will be presenting to you Idole, Akkad, Gallad, and Korrigan. These particular fragrances are part of a collection that I have from the House of Lubin, not the entire collection, but 4 that I think are stellar and should be presented to you. So first up, this is what you'll get when you visit a Lubin boutique or authorized retailer in most cases. It's a Lubin marketed bag, tie strings, rope carrying case, and you also get a nice card from the company. The presentation is a sleeved box that has the inspiration in which they followed and wanted to present a particular fragrance to you. So each one has its own story behind why and what they made the fragrance to interpret. The sleeves comes off easily. You then have a textured cardboard case box, very well done with an embossed Lubin logo. Easy slide off. You then have the presentation of the flacon. And these flacons are some of the best in the business in my opinion. 100 ml bottles, curvature, emblematic and representation of what was to them to be a talisman. The original fragrances had a mask on it. If you find Idole online as the EDT version, you'll see that these were masked talisman and to inspire and show what they were doing with the fragrances. Each fragrance has its own particular bottle and cap presentation to give a distinctive look and view and give to you an idea of what they want to present in the fragrance. So this is the presentation. This is Akkad, by the way. So now let's get into the fragrances. The first up I have to present to you is Akkad. The gold flacon, amber cap. This is a fragrance that was perfumed by Delphine Theory. It is a aromatic amber, warm, fresh, spicy and citric, balsamic fragrance. It is, to me and my nose, it is a crystallized gray amber that is infused with a semi-sweet yet ripe tangerine and dried clary sage aroma. Very beautiful fragrance. It complemented by a strong and fresh cardamom pod that is dosed with a olibanum resin and has a hint of vanilla and I believe a nice touch of lavender in this fragrance. It can be interpreted as a luminous, almost like a sun-drenched, a hedonist composition. It has the aromatic styrax in it. As I said, lavender. It wafts gently over the skin. It's when you put 5 to 6 sprays on and it becomes irresistible. It is a very nice fragrance, a 3-season fragrance. Winter, spring, and fall. Spray it on. It could be any occasion fragrance as well. It could be a nice casual scent, or it could be very, very well suited to an elevated and elegant experience for you and those surrounding you. So that is Akkad, done by Delphine Theory. Next up we have Gallad, which is another fragrance done by Delphine Theory. This one here in particular is a woody amber fougere with a honeyed tobacco nuance. She once again used a superb cardamom. This time she uses it in the open accords. And in conjunction with a lemony fresh cypress note, she did a tremendous job making it very inviting with the nicely done herbaceous rosemary accord as well. The divergence that happens in the heart of this fragrance, the way she underpins the cypress and seduces you with a cascade of like Kapua balsam, which is a mild, soft, woody, slightly peppery nuance. She put in like a molasses thick honey and a warm myrrh that can be described as like an aphrodisiac for this fragrance. A very well done amber fougere fragrance. It's fusing the aromas of a woody and almost a seemingly like a spiritual embrace the way she did this with some incense to it. It has earthy tobacco, oud, opulent cypriol oil done with it. It is a fragrance that is the personification of duality, in my opinion. Nicely done. Barbershop fougere underpinned by a sexy honey and incense chord. Very well done fragrance. I didn't like this fragrance at first. It gave me a very, very bad off-putting experience when I first got it, but my nose was young. I didn't know what I was experiencing. Off my skin, I would get compliments with it, but it was a juxtaposition of me not liking the actual fragrance versus people telling me I smell great. Didn't really jive well, but once I got my nose much more elevated and experienced, this became one of my favorite fougere fragrances, and that is Gallad, done by Delphine Theory. Next, we have Korrigan. Oh, Korrigan. Korrigan, I have no clue why this particular fragrance is not talked about more in at least the fragrance community. I can understand novice not picking up on it because it's a very obscure fragrance that people don't, see Lubin that often. It's not one that is... Let me just say this. I have no clue why it's not talked about, but let's get into it. This is a fragrance that was perfumed by Thomas Fontaine. It is a amber vanilla, warm, spicy, leathery, and woody fragrance with musk and whiskey. This fragrance doubles down on spirit accords. It uses a fusion of cognac and whiskey with a vegetal musk made from ambrette. And those notes are so seductive. I can't tell you how many times I've received compliments on this particular fragrance. It's slightly sensual because the effect that he put saffron to complement a spicy leathery accord. It's rich. It's an opulent oud that he placed into it. A very, very well done smoky vetiver that has different facets to the vetiver. It opens with that almost lemony fresh. You could smell it in the underlying underpinning of the fragrance, but it runs concurrent with a smoky Java vetiver. And this is what I would call the crimson light flashing fragrance. This is when you get into the mood and those hormones start going and you start feeling sexual. This is a great fragrance to put on, be with your significant other, and everybody in the room gonna enjoy it. So it's unabashedly sexy. The scent will draw one closer with damn near audacious fashion. It is impossible to resist the smell on Korrigan. It's a 3-season fragrance. All these fragrances have great atomizers. This one, like I said, I don't have a clue why no one else is talking about this fragrance on list, on best ofs. I don't get a clue. This is a phenomenal fragrance for 3 seasons, hands down. That is Korrigan, done by Thomas Fontaine. Next up, we have Idole, Eau de Parfum. And this particular fragrance is the honorary ambassador, so to speak, of Lubin. This is the one that many talk about. If anyone's coming in contact with Lubin fragrances, this is the one that they know about. And for good reason. It is a fragrance done by Olivia Giacobetti, she's well known for so many fragrances, most of all from the house of Les Parfums, or Les Artisans Parfum. And here what she did, she made a woody, spicy, sweet rum, leather, smoky, spiced, beautiful, flaming, like burnt orange and tangerine rind accorded fragrance. This is a phenomenal fragrance. She structured this heavily on the heart accords, using a very, very big dose of like a oily, lacquered ebony wood. It has a sweet incense accord infused with it. She also used a phenomenal, I don't know how they come up with the sugar accord, because I've never smelled sugar before. I don't know, it has a sweet tinge to it, I believe, but I've never out and out smelled sugar. But she used a sugar accord and more resinous woody notes in the mid. And that is, from top down, the beautiful part about this fragrance. She used a saffron, bitter orange, that signs the open accords with the precision of a sniper's reticle. She did a phenomenal job with the open to mid on this fragrance. The dry now is somewhat atypical of boozy scents. It's a base that's reinforced by leathery accords, more sweet orange amber, a feel that brings the composition with a slight regality to it. It makes the scent just distinctively lavish. You know, this is, for good reason, the ambassador to the Idole or Lubin home for fragrances. Great one, done by, like I said, Olivia Jacobetti. Get your nose on this one at least to give what you get from this. Now, I'll be honest, all 4 fragrances have, like many houses, a accord that is done well by the house, almost like an in-house fusion that they add to every scent. And I know that many people know what I'm talking about when I say that each house has its own scent DNA. And this one for me is that musk accord, which is like a white musk, slightly resinous styrax, along with a vegetable muskmellow and a cashmere. It's this textured, sexy musk that you can't shake off not only your memory, but everyone else's memory. When they smell this fragrance, they be like, man, you smell fantastic. What is that? You know, and the next time you'll wear one, like if I wear Korrigan 1 week where I wore Idole, they'll be like, is that fragrance you wore Monday? Which gives me the knowledge base on saying that these have a DNA built on that musk accord in each and every one of her fragrances or their fragrances from the House of Lubin. Great fragrance all in all. Once again, this is the House of Lubin. This is a from the house experience for you guys to get an in-look overview of what it is that the House of Lubin is carrying and how great those fragrances and these fragrances can be. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is transition to our cigar review and overview. And what I have here is one of my favorite cigars. This is the Plascencia family's Alma Fuerte Generation 5, done in the Salomon Vitola. It is a 7x58 size cigar, runs retail for about $20 in most boutiques. This particular cigar, I've been smoking for, I believe, 2 years now. Purchased a box of 20, and I'm getting down to my last of them. They've done great in the humidor. Seamless construction, minimal veins, great chocolate, milk chocolate brown wrapper. Toothy, no. Just a great, the aromas. Great cigar. Now, Plascencia, they grow and make cigars for different cigar manufacturers, as many people do know in the industry. And they save this particular blend of tobacco for themselves. You taste a clean earth. The body on this is full. The flavors are full. The actual strength is a medium full. When you get to the second half of the second third, down to the third, it's a full strength cigar that gets a little bit peppery. But what you get for nuances and aromas from this fragrance are a dark chocolate, in my opinion, dried fruits as far as like plums, cranberry, a slight hint of apricot as well, which is a nuance that you get nicely on the third retrohale, or the third third of the cigar retrohale. So when you get to about the small size of the Vitola, because it's a very odd shaped Vitola, once you get down to the first band, it becomes slightly the smell of apricot that you get in the nuances on this fragrance. It's a very elite cigar. It's the great balance, great complexities. It is, like I said, the strength is there. It's not one for beginners at all. This is in the echelon of the Liga Privadas, the Padron Anniversary 1964 series, where if you're not used to nicotine in your body and in your system, this will throw you for a loop. But as far as taste, flavor profile, complexities and balance, and the body, the mouthfeel, the textures you get, it is a wonderful cigar, and one I highly recommend. That is Plascencia's Alma Fuerte cigar blend in the Salomon Vitola, 7x58, $20 retail. Great cigar. And so YouTube, that's the end of our experience I hope that if you took something of olfactive knowledge, something that elevated and enhanced your olfactive experiences with scent and cigars today, I ask that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment below just to let me know about the content. Are you enjoying it? Let me also know what type of cigars, fragrances you like and enjoy. Let's build and elevate. And until next time, have a blessed one.